God.
Hope you guys are ready. There's going to be a pop quiz.
Pop quiz. All right. Okay. I'll be back to you soon.
Yeah, it's the headphones. None of
we have some agitation within the mind of the medium, and we are endeavoring to calm. An event approximately 10 minutes ago. Now, so we will gain more control as we begin to speak. And you'll hear my voice and the communication from me. Over the last few weeks, we have undertook a talk regarding the body, the mind, and the heart. And we said today we would begin the exploration of spirit, so you may understand these elements of man. Now, the body is basically just a machine. It works in a way according to its instruction, and it undertakes various activities as instructed by the mind. The body goes where the mind tells it, and the mind is in control about the events not just within the body and around the body, but events to occur. We also spoke about the heart and explained that in theory there are two hearts, a heart of man and the heart related to spirit. And the heart here holds memory, but also holds and transmits any energy that is available to it. The heart transmits. So hence it is rather important that the heart is clear, it is open, it is unblocked, it is able to communicate fully and transmit the energies available to it in a pure way. But what is that pure way? And if we are in essence talking about a machine, what right does a machine have to transmit anything beyond a logical set of data and follow instructions given to it? And this is where we lead into today. Spirit is the very essence of man. If you wish to alter the word spirit into life, then for some people that has an easier connotation to grab onto, to hold, to work with. And you may find that rather easier to use. Mm. 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 Forgive me, we need to move the medium's arm. Mm. Let us carry on. It is all well and good to talk about spirit, but it is very difficult to capture, to understand from your side. It is far easier, of course, from our side. What is spirit? Can anybody purely and truthfully answer this question from your side? Can anybody really say spirit is A, B, or C? Can anybody actually observe their spirit or the spirit of another? Can you look at the one person there and say, there is the spirit there just to the left, or behind, or to the right, of course? It is actually easier to recognize it in others than it is within yourself. Recognizing your own spirit is almost impossible. You cannot recognize anything that you are. Rather, you can only recognize the results of what you are. Or, if you prefer, the fruit to the tree. But if you try to find your spirit, you'll find it somewhat elusive, almost impossible to find. Yet it is your very essence of who you are. Does a tree know that it is a tree? Does an orange know that it is an orange? It does not. Yet we give it labels to recognize these facts. So if you remember, I used 3 words right at the very beginning of our conversation. And that were Sat, Chit, Ananda, truth, consciousness, bliss. If you do any work of understanding, you will hear these words often. Now, these are not your spirit, but in essence are the fruit of your spirit, the expression of it. But let us alter the terms so they are somewhat more relatable to each of you. Let us say it is knowledge, it is peace, it is love. You will find without a shadow of doubt that the nearer you get to your spiritual self, there will be more knowledge, more peace, and more love within your life. It does not mean that they were never there, but it does mean that you are getting nearer to the unveiling of your spiritual connection into the world. You are removing some of the obstacles in the way, removing some of the thought forms that you have held onto, removing some of the issues that you have experienced in your past, where you have obtained certain beliefs and you have gained certain personality traits because of past events. The more of these you remove, of course, the more peace, love, and knowledge will be available to you. It will be more visible in the world. So if you would like more peace in your life, you need to get closer to your spiritual self and allow that spiritual self just to come through you. Now you must understand a certain point here. You cannot stop an orange being an orange. You cannot remove the orangeness from an orange and still have an orange. So what this means for you is you cannot take away these qualities of spirit from you. You cannot lose your peace. You cannot lose the knowledge nor the love. You cannot lose the knowing of everything. You cannot lose the peace beyond all understanding. It is impossible. But you can cover it over. And you cover it over with circumstances in your life. And to some degree you will understand a connection here that in essence every person has the access to all these skills. And every person in essence is also a medium. But this is covered over. And it is hidden because you choose to hide it. And this is why stress, fear, and other emotions seem to confuse and dizzy the mind. And all your peace has been firmly lost or tucked away for another day. So hence then meditation becomes at least one of the ways where you can remove some of these obstacles that exist within your mind and heart. And those which meditate can find access to these fruits more readily available. And this is also why I have said to some, why be a medium just for 1 hour a day? Just letting go of all those obstacles to allow the true self to come forward. So this is what is meant when man seeks heaven, yet it is laid out in front of him everywhere he looks, but he does not see it. Far too often mankind is distracted away from the core value. So of course, the moral is you do not need to do anything to be your true spiritual self. You do not need to learn anything or take any courses or go and sit in a cave. The essence is to stop being the self that you are not. So this is why an open heart is important. If you have a closed or disturbed heart, you can still make these connections, but only impurely, less perfectly, or hold the connection for some time. You sit on a treasure box, yet you refuse to open it. All the wealth you ever require is within that box. And of course, I am not talking coins and notes and jewels, something far more valuable. So you can see now, or at least I hope you can see now, that the impurities within the mind constantly ask you to do something. Yet the purities of your spirit ask you to be something. And to be that which you really are. So some of your religious leaders say the true religion is kindness. This, of course, is true. The kindness that you give to others, you share. When you give $1 to somebody, it makes you feel happy and also makes them feel happy. You have shifted yourself by a marginal degree from the egoic self into the spiritual self. And therefore you'll find that the achievement of your liberation, your realization, your enlightenment is the realization of sharing and giving and realizing the oneness of it all. Now you must understand a slight definition here. I am not talking about the soul, I am talking about the spirit. The soul must continue its journey through all the realizations that it believes it has to undertake, all the experiences, for it to realize that it was spirit after all. As the soul is the belief in an individual expression of the one spirit. So here you could say that the spirit is reducing its level down to an individual or one part and beginning the journey through the mind to go out the other side to realize it was never the mind in the first place. It was always just what is known as Sat Chit Ananda. So if you're getting caught up in the doing, the most you'll realize is your soul. But if you change that into the being, then you have the choice to connect to your spirit. And as you progress through that, you'll gain glimpses of the reality before it becomes a permanent understanding. So the true journey, if we can call it a journey after all, is a journey home. For many, they experience the first half of their lives of one of expansion, gaining more, collecting more, trying to become more. But those with an understanding which may take half of your life to realize, some less, some more, then the contraction starts. And people start to shed assets. And you lose those which do not serve you. As you begin to drift away from the world to realize the world beyond the world. So you're thinking, how do I do this? How do I come back to my real self? If there is so much at stake, how do I let this real self become who I am in this life? As I have said, it stopped being the false self. In a talk recently, I said to those there that you should start with your spirit and work from there. By starting with your spirit or the expression of it, then you will find that you'll become nearer and nearer to the truth. So the exercise that was given some weeks ago, which was, before you confront any situation, first build love in your heart. This was also described as an exercise to increase or improve your mediumship. Now, this exercise, it was not a case of doing, but a case of being. Let the love be there. And let this be your ground from which all action will flow in its pure form. So let me emphasize this with an example. Try building anger first, and then go into a meeting with another and see what the result will be. I'm sure you do not need to follow this example, you can feel it already. Anger will be full of agitation and need to do. It will contradict, it will change its opinion from the beginning to the end. It will oscillate all viewpoints. And it will want the result for itself, but it will not know what result it wants. When you go into a meeting, if you build the love first, and then allow any action to come from that love or from the basis of love, you'll find the other person will respond likewise. But even if they do not, it does not matter. It does not matter if they receive it or not. You cannot make anybody receive love. You can just be the giver of love, and then it is up to them. So if you build the love, or in essence, if you become yourself first, then that meeting is totally different. There may be not more peace. It may be easy to find common ground. Even if there needs to be a correction of somebody's behavior, by building the love first, the other person will feel that and feel like they are loved regardless. Now, love is not a wishy-washy emotional ground which gives of itself always. Love is also an energy that cuts through like a sword. But it it is something that should not be held on to. It has to be given away. And how does your vibration feel when you build love and give it away? How does the essence of you feel? Do you feel connected more to your spirit or not? Of course, there are other qualities which could be used in its place as well. Peace, of course, is the next best option. But a peace that does not wish to be disturbed. And you can let action come from that peace just the same. It is only the retention of these qualities which will then disturb you. Trying to hold them will not do you any good at all. I want to build love and I want to retain it for myself. Or just limit the love that you have. And as soon as that energy starts to be stationary, it starts to become denser. When it becomes dense, of course, then it is conditional. It has to be given away to retain its pure qualities. But if your heart is not open, you will find the attempt of giving love will be somewhat fraught in danger. And it will come about rather like white light going through a prism as it diffracts into the colors. It will be given but with a tinge of other desires attached to it. Now, that is an expression of who you are by just being that. Being that quality and letting action come from there first. So what is the true nature of spirit beyond this expression? Now I give this example just for those which will listen to this recording and have an understanding or find the information that they require. The true essence of spirit, once you settle within your calm mind, your open heart, you have not fallen into the trap of being settled too easy in either bliss or truth or consciousness. You must let go of all of these to progress further. Whatever is given to you then must be let go of. And as you let go, you fall into oblivion of darkness or nothingness. For some, They can go into a meditation state where they close their eyes and the time has just passed with nothing in between for 1 hour. With practice, this can become much longer. Now, this is beyond experience. And there is no you and blackness. You become that. And you realize that you are in fact everything. Now that level of conversation should be taken with those which are exploring that track. And I can do that. But my intention is to make these discussions practical within your lives. Whether you're looking at these as the way to live your life or the way to improve your abilities. The more your mind thinks, the more you will find that you are disturbed away from your true self. But if you can just sit in meditation and try to see yourself, you will find that there is just energy washing around as thought. And that thought flows around the world to be picked up by another. Or if you wish, that energy flows around the world for somebody to receive it. And it is just a thought. Now I must come back so that you fully understand this. This exercise alone of building the love first will bring man closer to not just its own spirituality, but also to the connection to the earth, the connection to others, the connection to all life forms, no matter where they are. And you will find this is one exercise that will vastly change your life, the life of those around you, and the life of the earth as well. Mankind has some challenges ahead. And I do not talk about light challenges, but dark and heavier challenges. There is still some fundamental changes which will need to take place. But the more Mankind chases egotistical rewards, the less they are connected to their spirit, and the larger the disasters will be. There was a call sent out to try to bring mankind back together. Changes needed to take place, of course. I am sure each person listening to this will accept that. The vast differences between rich and poor, the haves and have-nots, etc., was getting wider. There was a need to re-put connections back together. And you will find that this is carrying on now and will carry on for some little time yet. And as now mankind starts to see its connection through to other people better, it now enters the nervous time. The nervous time of what will be. I do not mean this just politically. There are far bigger issues than that. Although, of course, that can have some benefit or some detriment. And now I say to you once more, mankind needs to find its true spirit self. And it does this by building love. Now, for those of you which are listening that are interested in chasing a bigger experience of spirit, in whatever form that you wish, I say to you to cleanse yourself, to open your channels, to let some of the issues of your past disappear, to watch yourself. And then you'll find changes can occur. When you find your true awareness, are able to watch yourself and watch the way you react, then too are you connected to your spirit. So those chasing that big experience, clear your channel. become aware and watch. Do not add desire. Do not add avoidance and expectations. And just watch and feel with a calm, open heart. And then you will feel the joy of it all. And have the experience that you desired before you decide to go past it into the world unseen still further. Now in next week's talk, we will talk about energy. What is energy? What is thought? Why does it travel around, and why is it important for you to work with it and to understand it? And I will talk on it at the level that you are, so that you may understand and become a channel of pure energy. So even though I am finishing now, this is a topic which we could explore for many a day. Your spirit self. But I wish to tie it into the other talks that we have had, to be consistent, so that you know when truth is spoken, it should not change, otherwise it is not the truth. Until then, I will see you all next week. May peace be within your heart, so that you may share it with others. God bless.
Good job, Pat.
Heavy. Feeling heavy.
Good job. Well done.
Nothing to say. Don't know what to say.
Okay.
All
See
right,
you next week.
everybody. Okay. Thank you all.
Bye.
All right. Thank you.
Good
Bye.
morning.
Thank
Thank you.
you so much.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.